Hello, class. I want to provide this brief video commentary regarding the instructions for the first assignment. And remember that in this case, your team is working on a larger project, as I explained earlier in the course. So this is gonna be the first part, and in the rest of the course, you will be developing all the other parts of this market study, which, as you know, is intended to evaluate the potential for introducing a product in a different country, right? And by now, you should have clarity about what will be the country that you will be working with. And what is this first assignment about? Basically, is learning about the cultural aspects of this country that you will be working with from a historical perspective and some of the most salient dimensions related to culture and institutions. Now, you do not know at this moment what will be the product that you will be introducing. That's something on purpose. Right now, I want you all to focus on the cultural elements and go deep into those aspects instead of looking at the specific uh, elements related to the market of your product or the industry that you will be working in. So that's why at this moment it is not necessary to know what product you will be marketing, because that will distract you from the cultural and historical elements that are necessary to understand. Later in the course, you will know what will be the product, and then the next parts of the project will relate to those specific sectors or industry that you need to know, of course, but we will be taking this in a sequence that aims to accomplish the learning objectives. Now, something that I want to emphasize in the case of this first assignment is use reliable sources of information. Of course, you have our university's library website and databases, which have information that you can trust from reputable sources. And it doesn't mean that you cannot use outside sources. Of course, you can use other bibliography or documents or reports that are not in our university's library website. Yeah, but just make sure that these are sources that can be trusted, right? Well-known media, newspapers, magazines, agencies, academic resources, of course, and particularly for some of these pieces of information, which I'm highlighting right now on the screen, there are some ratings or indexes, and these are marked with a chevron symbol. Well, these are generally produced by non-government organizations, universities and research centers. So go to those sources, those organizations or universities or agencies, websites or platforms, and that's what you will provide as the reference for this information or metrics, right? There are some specific directions here about the formatting, right? In terms of, first of all, no longer than 20 pages, the font size, spacing, justifications. So make sure to look at this in the document that you have available with you. Now, one thing I want to stress is that please follow the structure and arrangement that you have here in blue font, right? You see this on your screen at this moment, and you have, first of all, letters and numbers and then you have lowercase letters and Latin numbers or Roman numerals. So make sure to comply with this structure organization, because that's what I will be following, and it'll help me to make sense or more clearly understand what you are providing in your report. Something else is that you need to remove from the report that you submit, the document that you upload into Canva, you need to remove the instructions, right? These instructions that you see in red and black font color, well, please take them out. The same thing, those that are at the end of this uh, document, right? Like the information about academic integrity, submissions, etc. All those things need to be removed from the final report that you upload into the platform. And make sure to cite correctly using the APA format style. I have provided in Canvas some guidelines and directions for APA formatting styles. So whatever you put in the text, you support it in parentheses with the sources and the year of the publication or report, or whenever you consult this online. And these sources need to be also listed at the end in section B, where you will have a list of references that correspond to all those sources that you are citing in the body of the text, in the main body of the report. If you have figures, tables, charts, graphs, images, maps, something that you are providing to support your description or your analysis of that country, well, this is going to be mentioned in the body of the report, but the actual table, maps, charts, etc., they gotta be in section C of the appendix, right? So these have to be number labeled in the respective uh, arrangement that you have for those supporting materials. But whenever you talk about those figures or that map or that distribution of some percentage or something that you are uh, elaborating about, whenever you refer to that in the body of the report, you need to highlight it in yellow, right? And that's why you have here this note in yellow. Please let me know if you have any question or comment through email. Feel free to reach out, and take care.